everyone. Wanted to share some exciting product updates. It is a new module called the Custom Documents module, and we just rolled it out. This has probably been one of the most requested features by our customers, and we're extremely excited to finally roll this out. It is extremely powerful, and it allows you to customize or personalize your estimates, your work orders, your invoices. But not only that, it also allows you to create multi-page proposals, for instance, or contracts. So if you're bidding on a multi-$1,000 project, and or even if it's just $1,000 project, it probably makes sense to include something that's a little bit more powerful and visually appealing than a single sheet of paper with a rate table on it. Basically, you may want to include a little bit about your company, some maybe prior work images, or maybe a little bit about your team, some of your customer testimonials, maybe some of your awards that you want on Angie's List or Home Advisor, or some other on House.com, for instance. It's just something that's going to reinforce your position with the customer and reinforce your brand, basically. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to just customize or personalize our standard template, and then how to create a multi-page proposal, just so you can see how powerful this module is. So to start, I'm just going to create a simple template. In fact, I'm going to start over, and I'm going to just highlight this whole thing, remove it, and I'm going to insert our standard template. So when I go to the snippets module, I'll just choose standard template, insert it here, and if all I wanted to do was just change this to proposal, I can just overwrite the text. If I wanted to change this from PO number to, let's say, parent, because I deal with a lot of parent accounts, whether it's AHS or Lowe's or Home Depot or whoever that might be, and all I'd have to do now is just drag this tag in here. I could also start typing the tag name, and it would give me a list of options to choose from. So this is just something, some user convenience features, basically. And again, you can personalize this entire estimate. You can change the alignment of text. If you want to align this to the left and this to the right, that could be easily done. If you wanted to change the color, the background color of that particular cell, you can just go here and make it red if you'd like. So it's again entirely up to you how this form looks, how it's formatted, what content is displayed, what content is not displayed, and this is just the first step in this whole process. Now, if you wanted to take it a step further, you can actually create your own multi-page documents, multi-page proposals. So in this case, I created 3. I created one for HVAC, one for plumbing, and one for just your general handyman services. In this particular template, I have 2 pages. I have my cover page, which includes our company logo, just a little picture for visual appearance, for an improved appearance, basically. We've got our customers' information. As you can see, these are all tags, so the tags are going to be converted on an estimate by estimate basis. And then we've got the prepared by section, where it's going to include the estimate opportunity owner name. This could be the service technician, could be someone that's managing the sales opportunity, and not necessarily the estimator that goes out on site. But again, it's entirely up to you. This has everything in formatted as tags, so you can choose whatever it is that you'd like and place it wherever it is that you'd like. And so on the first page, again, I just have my cover letter. On the second page, I have our standard estimate that I personalized. I changed the background colors. I changed the alignment of the text. I added some additional content, changed the color of this. So it's basically a personalized version of our standard template. And again, you can do as much or as little with this as you'd like. So this just gives you, your brand a personalized feel, basically, so that again, your cover letter styling matches your estimate. Now in this template here, in the plumbing template, I actually have 5 pages. On the first page, again, same thing. I have a standard cover. I have our standard customer in the company info. On the second page, we have a cover letter that tells them, gives them a little intro about what you would normally want to say in a cover letter. Again, if you're putting together a very nice, maybe a multi-$1,000 proposal for some bathroom remodel. Then there's the About Us page. So you're gonna want to tell them a little bit about yourself, maybe what awards you've won and what you've done and how long you've been in business. I mean, dozens of years of experience your team has. And then on the next page, we'd have our actual estimated costs. So if you notice here, all I have is just a rate table and this the estimate total down here at the bottom. And so what the rate table is going to look like is controlled by this widget here on the right. So if I wanted to turn off the rates, the rate line items basically, and the rate line item total, and all I wanted to show them was the photos of products and services, line item name, description, and the quantity. That's all it's going to show us. In fact, I'm going to turn off the pictures as well, and I'll show it to you in a different template. And on the last page, we can actually have our service contract, and this could be a page, could be a paragraph, could be multiple pages. It is entirely up to you how this is format, what content goes where, and how. And one thing to note here is that you can actually insert your pre or post work authorization signature. So if your comfort advisor is out on site, or if your estimator is out on site and he actually captures the customer's signature on the app, on the field worker app, it can be automatically inserted into this proposal that's going to be emailed to them afterwards. So it's very dynamic. It's all tag based. All you have to do is just populate these tags once, and then you're capturing data as you are as you're going out and creating those proposals basically. Now, on the last one, we have a Handyman template, so just a general bathroom remodel basically is what we're going to be applying this to. But again, multiple pages. Now we have 9 pages instead of 6. And keep in mind, you can rearrange them. You can move pages from left to right and right to left. The order of pages is controlled by you. So on page 1, again, we have our standard cover. Page 2, we have our cover letter. Page 3, we have about us. Page 4, we have our services, and you can get really creative with this. It is, again, entirely up to you what goes on here. You can upload images if you'd like, insert your own. You can, put a picture of your team if you'd like. So again, you guys have full control over what this looks like. And to upload an image, all you have to do is just click this button here, and you can just upload it on the fly. Next is going to be about your team. Again, your team photos, your team bios. It's entirely up to you to use or not to use this. But it would be strongly encouraged if you're trying to build trust with your customer. And finally, in the proposal stages here, you can go ahead and just say, this is the rate table, add a little disclaimer up top, for example, estimate total, you can say proposal total, for instance, if you'd like. And then again, you're using tags, so you're not hard coding this, you're not populating any of this data as you're setting it up. You are simply using tags so that the system can dynamically replace them with the content from that particular estimate or work order or an invoice. And that's what's powerful about this. Now on the next page, we're going to have our project pictures. If you take some pre-work pictures, for instance, you go out, the estimator is out on site, he snapped a couple of images, and you wanted to include it in the proposal because it would be something that could help a customer see what work is going to be done, or what it's going to be, exactly what's going to be worked on basically. And so the pictures can be included with a simple tag. All you have to do is just insert a tag called estimate pictures, and keep in mind, these tags are all accessible through here, and all you have to do is just type a part of this word, or you can type it in as you are in this section here and just select it from your list. So now I'm going to go ahead and leave this as is, and we're going to go to the next page, which is going to have our customer testimonials. Once again, you can remove these images, you can change the contents of these testimonials. It is entirely up to you whether or not to include it in the first place. And same thing with the signatures. If the customer's order authorization signature is there, you can go ahead and include it. Now, one other thing to note here is I created a custom field called work to start on. So if you're creating an estimate, and if you agree to a certain start date with a customer, you can just insert it as one of the custom fields on the estimate. And this can be dynamically populated here. So if the date was set, it's going to show it on the customer's profile, or on the customer's proposal. And you can also include it somewhere in the content of your service contract. So for example, you could just take this tag and you can insert it here in the middle of the sentence, and it's going to be automatically and dynamically populated. Again, that's how powerful the module is. And so finally, let's go ahead and take a look at what the output of all these templates is going to look like. I've actually created a couple of different estimates. This one is going to be for an AC coil replacement. So we're going to use our standard HVAC template that I put together. So now once this module is enabled, once you basically go to My Office Custom Documents and you create these additional templates, you will be able to click on the drop-down menu here, and you can choose from one of the custom templates. Now you can also set one of these templates as your default, so that whenever you are clicking on just a print button with instead of the arrow button, it'll automatically use that template as your default template. Now I'm going to go ahead and choose HVAC proposal, and so in this case it's actually loading our proposal. So instead of a tag, we now have our logo. There's our cover page. If we scroll down to the next page, here's our estimate. Again, personalized. We've got our color scheme, we've got our product pictures included or service pictures included. Again, it's entirely up to you whether or not to include them, and it's just a toggle switch. So it's nothing overly complicated. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. Now, on the next estimate, we actually created a proposal basically for some kitchen remodel. So this is a slightly more complex project, and it's going to require a much more complicated proposal basically. So in this case, we have several line items here. Now we're going to go ahead and click on print, choose the Handyman template, and so now let's go ahead and do a print preview, and here's our template. As you can see, again, we've got the cover page with our company info, our license number, who it's prepared for, dynamically populated with the customer's name. Cover letter, again, all dynamically populating. Robert Morris is the opportunity owner on the estimate, so whoever is creating that estimate is going to be dynamically populated there. Their contact info is inserted, about us, our services, about our team, and here's the proposal. Take a note here. All I have is just a quantity and then the proposal total. Beautiful. Now let's go ahead and insert the line items, the totals for each line item and the rates, the individual rates. So all I have to do is go back here, go to my Handyman template, page 6, and all I have to do is now say show rates and show line item total. Save. Let's go and refresh this, and we're going to go to print preview and take a look at our rate table. And now we have our quantity, rate, and total. So again, how to set this up is entirely up to you, and it is extremely customizable. It's personalizable. If I wanted to change the background color of this rate table, I could. If I wanted to add some styling and add a 1 pixel border to this entire table, I could do that as well. So again, it gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of options to choose from. And finally, the project pictures. So the 2 pictures that I uploaded, if we take a look here in the pictures section, so these pictures would have been uploaded from the worker app, or they could have been sent in by the customer before they requested. So if they used your web portal, for instance, or your personal app that's that's available through the app stores, they could have snapped a few pictures of their kitchen project and then sent it into you. So all you have to do is just include that tag, and the system will automatically render it as part of this proposal. So if we zoom in, it's going to be beautifully laid out on the page in a 2-column format. So even if you had multiple pictures here, they could be included as well. Then your customer testimonials and your service contract. So once the project is signed off on, you can go ahead and include that in the proposal as well. Now, last thing I wanted to show you is how to personalize an invoice. So for instance, I have my standard invoice here that I created from scratch. Now, I have a standard invoice that came with the system, and all I did is I created a different title for it, and I called it custom invoice instead of a standard invoice. But then I also created my custom invoices. As you can see, it's completely different from the standard ones that we include, and it includes our standard tags such as bill to, service location info, payment terms, number, date. And just as a reminder, you guys have full control over what this looks like, over what fields are included, how they're formatted. So if you wanted to change the color of this text, you could easily do that. Again, just an extremely powerful tool here. And in this example, I just have a standard invoice. In this example, I have the exact same invoice, but I also included our work authorization signature and work acceptance signature. So if we're dealing with an invoice that is something that's been basically already signed off on, then you can go ahead and include those as tags, and it will be dynamically populated by the system. So again, just to reiterate, this module allows you complete control over what these forms look like, how they function, what data is included, and once again, just as a reminder, you can completely personalize it on a customer by customer basis. So if you just said, I would like to assign Jake Reynolds a custom estimate, so instead of the standard estimate, or instead of my custom estimate, I wanted to assign this Handyman as his default template. So whenever I create proposals for Jake, it'll automatically select that template for him. But if I had another customer that required let's just say a custom estimate proposal, then that could be done as well. Same thing goes for work orders, same thing goes for invoices. And once again, it's something that you can do on a customer by customer basis, or just leave everyone at default and choose your default templates for each category, for estimates, for invoices and work orders. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and we'd love to hear your feedback. We'd love to have you try it and let us know how it works out. But we believe that it's a really, really great feature, and hopefully it's going to allow you to close some more business.